it was my job to feed the cows that day. Well, I got the tractor down, headed towards the gate to the feedlot. We're on a slight hill there, nothing big. We've got our silo next to it. We've got cement pads, all nice, for us at least. I got off the tractor, put the tractor in park, of course. Got off, opened up the gate. The cows were penned up so they wouldn't come out. And then everything changed. I got back on the tractor and I heard a bang. The gate swung shut. Thinking nothing of it, I got off the tractor. I had already taken the tractor out of park. It never went back into park. I put one foot on the ground, and then it started to roll, and it grabbed my feet. Ran clear over my hips, breaking my pelvic bone in half. Grabbed my shirt and pulled me around and ran clear over my face. A 484 is not a huge tractor, but it's not a lawnmower either. And I didn't feel anything. No blood. I felt my face, no blood. So I stood up. And I fell back down faster than I stood up. And I met concrete really well that day. And all I could see was a silo and a blue sky. And you think of all the things going through your head. You think about your family, your friends, your life, and what have you accomplished. And really at that age, I hadn't done much of anything. Except for go to school and play video games and be on the farm. Then I heard a motor. And it was a guy coming into the farm. And that guy was a paramedic from a county next to us. But he was also a seed corn salesman. He saw me laying there. And he got out of his truck. And to tell you the truth, I asked him, I looked at him and said, "Am I going to survive?" And he said, "Yes." And that's what really kept me going. But imagine this. He came in there, paramedic, from Montgomery County, which meant he could call the helicopter directly. The helicopter was 2 air miles from the farm, coming back from another accident that they had taken a person down to the shock trauma. The helicopter for my accident got there faster than any other personnel. I was the fastest time to Johns Hopkins Hospital they have ever seen from my area. And I was the only youth there. So not only did I make it there fast, I was the only person there. And everybody's attention was on me. First couple days at Johns Hopkins, I had to have a nurse come in to tell me to breathe. It was too much work to breathe. I was too tired. I was too worn out. But I'll tell you, laying on a metal table, not knowing where your parents are at this age, it's not fun. It's scary. And then to top it all off, listening outside my door to 2 doctors talking, saying he's never going to walk again. That's scarier. And that's when I decided that I was going to walk again. And I did. Can you imagine somebody being run over by a tractor and within 2 months they're walking? That was me. That's where the learning to live again comes in. I had to learn to walk. I went from a wheelchair with a special back. I mean, this wheelchair was huge. It was like a moving recliner. And then I had a walker, then I had 2 canes, then I went to 1 cane, and now when it rains I walk with a slight limp. And sometimes when it doesn't rain I walk with a slight limp. But to have everything that happened to me, for that's all I have, that's pretty darn good. What I want to point out here is, after my accident, this is what my jaw looked like. My jaw was pushed over here. Yeah. And my nose was over here. I had broken every bone from my eye sockets down. And I say broken, but they were crushed. We aren't just talking about bones breaking into 2 pieces. We're talking 3, 4 pieces. I have 7 plates and 37 screws in my face. And I'm pretty darn good looking for 7 plates and 37 screws. They had never seen brakes like this because of airbags. They have seen brakes, but they've never seen crushes. They had never seen everything go wrong. With all of this happening, I'm able to teach people. I'm able to help kids. One thing I forgot to mention was, we had just taken the chains off of this tractor that had chains on for 12 years, 1 week before I got ran over. You know what kind of damage chains would have done? I wouldn't look this pretty. It just amazes you all the things that went right. It amazes me everything that happened correctly. And what we can thank paramedics, people at the hospital. It's amazing what you all have done. I mean, I can only reach so many people. There's still kids having to go through things I went through. But we're getting the message out there. And really, you guys are getting the messages out there. And what I always try to tell people is, if I save one kid from going through what I had to go through. And no, we'll never know who we saved. But you got to think, when you're speaking to 100 kids, you've probably saved one, at least. That if they wouldn't have thought that second about it, about what you taught them, that they would have been hurt. That they would have died. Because I should be dead. There's no doubt in my mind that what happened to me, I should be dead. But I was kept on this world for something, and I do believe it's for my safety.